Okay, guys, I got a lot of questions regarding a long trade that I talked about earlier this week, and it's regarding the trend day that we had on 6:15, this long trade here in this area. A lot of questions. Why did I go long, and how did I know to go long here? Okay, try to give you as much detail as I remember so you can understand it. Now, remember the prior day we had, let me show you on a different chart. The prior day we had this, we gapped up, we tried to push above the trading range, the long-term trading range, and we sold off. However, once we sold off, I still had a bullish bias, but I was going to, once the market opened, I was going to gauge it and see if the selling would continue. That's it. The selling on the prior day was not enough to change my bias. Okay. And so my plan was to monitor activity in the morning and see if I see more selling, which we did not. Now, I had noticed that this area here, 1092 to, let me just plot two lines here. This area and this area, basically 1092 to 1020, 1093. I'd noticed this area is major point of control for this trading day. Essentially, we try to push below here in the morning. Okay, do you see how these two, this higher low and this low on the left side, okay, uh, we try to push lower, we came back, we bounced off of it again, this level, and then here when we sold off, as soon as we hit this area, do you see these do you see how we're getting these long shadows, just aggressive either short covering coming in or buyers coming in? We couldn't push below this, and what happened? And we got this major volatility that came in and just cut right through it. Then we tried to push above it, we couldn't, and we sold off. So that's an area I had noticed. Now, if I remove that, by the end of the day, the value area, these lines just mark the value area. So this is value low, value high, point of control from price profile, market profile, whatever you want to call it, and it actually price point of control ended up being exactly right at the area where I had noticed being at a serious level. So keep that in mind. We're going to move into the next day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just mark the point of control on this chart for the prior day so you can see what it looks like on this chart or where it's located. So market opens up. This is what I saw exactly. Okay, I see this bar here is painted yellow because it has an indicator loaded into it. It's called Zuna SR zone. It's just a SR zone indicator, simply put. We got that, and so what I do is mark it on my chart. Now I have confluence. Trend is up on volume index. Volume breadth is high. We're coming below near this reaction low area. Right on the first time we tested it, we popped right up. We came into the zone, but we didn't touch point of control. When we came on point of control, we couldn't get out. There were two long signals via volume breadth, and then Z10 oscillator came in at here. So either one of those were a long signal. We were at the low of the Keltner channel. As you can see, couldn't close outside of it, and I mean there was so much confluence. I could probably continue another 5-10 minutes, but I don't want to bore you. And that's it. So confluence of support and resistance levels and zones. Trend indicators are bullish. My bias from the prior day was bullish. I got my entries. Just waited for the trade to come to me. That's it. Simple as that. Speaking of support and resistance levels, it was an interesting breakout here. Okay. And we broke out of the major trading range, and again, if you look on this chart, this was a support and resistance level, support and resistance zone, I should say. And again, there was the oscillators gave signals here. I won't explain the signals here because I'll have to talk about stuff that's in the oscillator report. But anyways, so these were the reasons. It was basically just waiting for support and resistance zones and levels to get tested and look for trade signals going with the trend. As soon as we stepped right into it, boom, we got a little we got a reaction low here, and then we came back in it. Once we came back to point of control and inside that zone, and everybody that knows me for a long time, you guys know I always take trades right out. I'm looking for trades around support and resistance areas or zones. Volume index is bullish. and if you look at volume breadths, bullish. Okay, so it's, as you can see, it's very easy trade. We're testing the low of the Keltner, the lower channel of the Keltner channel. We're not closing outside of it. We're bouncing right off of it. My entry tool, Z10 oscillator, gave me a long signal there. And if you look at to the left here, VV oscillator gave a long signal there. So you had two choices, and that doesn't happen that often, but you had two long entries that you could have gotten position and taken advantage of the trend day. Okay, that was it. That's basically it. And you know, there's so much confluence here. Do you need, when you get that kind of confluence with everything I just explained, I mean, could you want anything else? So not all trades end up being like that, but when they do, they're pretty nice. This is the next area that we got a we got a SR zone, okay, which is this bar here, and that bar is actually quite important because we broke above a major trading range. We pulled back into it. Buyers stepped in again. Again, you could have gone long. And whenever you break above a major trading range, that whatever you just, the range that you just, that becomes automatically a strong support area. So there was a long